So you're thinking of moving to Tracy, California? If you want to be close to the big city life, but not right in the middle of it, then Tracy would be perfect for you. It still gives off small, charming hometown vibes, but is only 60 miles east of San Francisco. So today we're actually going to jump into Google Maps, take a look at it from an aerial view, so I can show you the proximity and the distance to different various locations near Tracy, California. So let's jump straight into it. This is your first time to the channel and you want to know all there is about living in the Central Valley of California, make sure you hit that subscribe button and tap that bell for notifications so you can be the first one to learn about the current real estate market in California's Central Valley. Hi, I'm Alex. I'm a local realtor based out of Charlotte, California, and I get calls from people just like you every single day that need help moving here within the Central Valley or are looking to relocate within different areas here in the Valley itself. So send me a text, give me a call, shoot me an email, or book a Zoom with me and we can meet. I don't care if you're moving right now or 3 months from now. I'd be happy to sit down with you and go over what it is that you're looking for. Okay, so let's jump straight into Google Maps so you can get a better idea as to whether Tracy might be a good place for you to live, especially if you're not from the area and you can't really just drive over for a little day trip or weekend trip. This will give you a better idea of its proximity, its difference to different locations, and you'll see that it is very centrally located. So if you are a commuter, this is a prime spot for you. A lot of commuters move here for that reason, especially going to the Bay Area. Or if you just want to commute somewhere else, then it's also very accessible as well. So you'll see why right now. So let's jump into here. You will see that Tracy actually forms a triangle, and that's why the city's slogan is actually think inside the triangle, because it makes a shape. So you'll see here it goes down to here, back up again. Please excuse my drawings, they're not the best, especially on computer. That's kind of a triangle shape, but you get the idea. So, and it's bordered by three different freeways. So right here we have the 580. On this side we have the 5, and over here we have the 205. A little side note, I did recently learn that a lot of people from every other state, essentially, I guess, besides California, don't use the word the before mentioning freeways, which I thought was really interesting because I thought everyone calls it, the 5, the 580, and I was informed by a family member who moved out of state that people just say 5 or 580. And so if you are moving from out of state, that will be a change for you because we always label all of the freeways the. That's just a little sidebar. I just thought that was really interesting. But you can see here, these are all really major freeways as well too. They're not just little local ones. They lead pretty far. So now we're going to look at the different routes that it can take you. So of course, most people are interested in seeing how they can get to the Bay Area. Let's zoom out. And you're going to see here, so Tracy, that triangle, it's very predominant. You can see it here when you zoom out especially, that we're about 60 miles east from San Francisco. So if you want to get to San Francisco, you're going to take this route through the 580 most of the way. It does change freeways a couple times here and there. They may change your route depending on traffic conditions as well too. Depends what your GPS says, but for the most part, you can take the 580. Now keep in mind though that if you are going to San Francisco, you will have to cross the Bay Bridge to get there, and that is a toll bridge. So you will have to pay a toll. I do recommend if you are a commuter and are planning to go to San Francisco frequently from Tracy that you do get the fast track program. And essentially it's a little, a little plastic thing that you put on your dashboard that scans. So you don't, well, technically no one stops at these toll booths anymore. It used to be you'd stop and pay, but since COVID, they got rid of that and they'll just mail you a bill, which is really inconvenient if you're going past this toll bridge twice a day, once going there and once coming back. So what I recommend is getting this fast track pass because it'll just bill to your account. You don't even have to stop. You just keep driving through the toll and it'll pick up through your license plate. So you'll register the car you'll be driving and its license plate number. Another benefit to this one is there's a lot of traffic, but you can actually go on. There's usually special lanes for this fast track pass. So during commuting hours, only people with this pass can use that. And it's pretty, I can't think of the exact amount, but it's kind of like a pay per use, and the monthly cost is very, very low too. So it's well worth the money if you are going to be a commuter. Now, if you are going to more of the Silicon Valley, more towards San Jose area, then again, you're also going to go down the 580 here, there's a couple options. You can go around to here and then cut down to the 680. Now that one is a little bit longer mileage wise, but if there's a lot of traffic during commuting hours, then there's a good chance that you'll probably take that. But there's actually another shortcut route too. So if you are traveling during non-peak hours, then I'd recommend taking the 84. So you get on the 580 here like before, but there's this little route here, that's the 84, and that cuts quite a bit of time and mileage off of your trip. But again, if you're doing commuting, it's mostly a 2-lane, and then there are spots that it's only 1 lane, so it can take a while to go through there. And there's been a lot of construction too. I swear there's been construction for years there. I think they're making some progress, but it's very, very slow. They're slowly widening the area, so there will be more lanes. So I'm hoping to see once those lanes widen up that maybe traffic will get better and it'll be a much better shortcut, as well as take away from some of the traffic that's over here on the 580. But for now, you're probably better off going to 580 if it is during commuting hours. Now, if you're going the opposite direction, if you're going back towards the valley, we do have, you'll probably take the 120 right here and then go straight down to the 99. So you'll head, this will take you all the way through all these different cities. So Modesto, which is the biggest city in Stanislaus County, it'll take you down to Merced County, and the 99 actually leads all the way to past the Grapevine, or that area over there. It goes pretty far down. Now this one is really cool. I'll have to show you this one here. So the 5 right here that goes down, this one's actually really neat. This is what you would take if you're going to Southern California, because you can see, I'm going to zoom out. You see the 5 markings here. The 5 actually runs all the way to the border of Mexico. So I'll keep zooming out, keep going down. Where'd it go? I think I lost it here for a second. It's around here somewhere. Here it is. Here's the 5, and it literally goes all the way to the border of Mexico. So if you're planning to go to Southern California, it is a complete straight shot from Tracy. You don't be jumping around from these different freeways. I mean, obviously, depending where you're going, you may have to jump on 1 or 2 to get to a specific location. For the most part, you can go all the way down to Southern California from the 5. Okay, so the next thing we're going to look at is the airports, because you're going to want to know where the nearest airport is, how you're going to be able to get around. And you'll see that Tracy is actually in the middle of a lot of different options. Here in the Central Valley, we have, even though we don't have big airports right in the back of our woods, we do have a lot of really big airports to choose from. So let's jump straight into here, and you're going to see a ton of airports surrounding Tracy. So you have a lot of options. Now there is, the Tracy Airport, and another close one is the Modesto Airport. But keep in mind that both of these airports are private flights, private transportation. I know through the Modesto you can book, a quick trip to LA or something like that. Something really short and quick. It is going to be costly. But Tracy is more privately owned, so you won't really be able to book any public transportation through there. Your next best bet, though, is you do have Stockton. Now, Stockton is still public and they do flights, but it's very limited and it's a much smaller airport, very small plane. I mean, walking through TSA, you won't ever really have lines or anything. It's super quick because they really only have 1 flight at a time. And they used to fly to a few more places, but they've changed it recently where they pretty much only fly to Vegas. So if you're planning on taking a quick trip to Vegas, it's only like an hour flight, if even, then I'd recommend going through Stockton. It's just really quick. It's probably only 25 minutes from Tracy, so it's super convenient. But if you are wanting to go to bigger places farther, you will have to travel a little bit more to some of our big international airports. So if you take a look, we have a few surrounding us. We have Oakland, we have San Francisco, we have San Jose, we've got Sacramento up here, and there's also the Fresno one, which would be a little bit further from Tracy, so I probably want to recommend that one. But Sacramento is the furthest here, and that's a little bit over an hour and a half from Tracy. Oakland is the closest, and that's about 50 minutes. San Francisco is about an hour, and San Jose is also about an hour. Again, that's with no traffic, so I would recommend if you have a flight coming up, maybe don't pick a flight time where it's going to be directly in the middle of commuting hours, because it will take you a while to get there, and you may miss your flight if you are trying to fight this traffic that you were not prepared for. But we do have a lot of options, and these are all international airports too. So if you want to take a trip to Mexico or Europe, somewhere else, these are all great options. And the thing I love about being in the Valley with all these different airports, even though we do have to drive and it's a little bit inconvenient that we can't really just Uber over there, you either have to park or have someone drop you off. But what I do love is there's a lot of different options for pricing. So if you're wanting to take a trip somewhere, let's say to the other side of the US, you have a lot of different airports to choose from to see what the best pricing is, and different flight times as well too, to make sure it works for your schedule. Now, the next really thing about really anywhere in California is the amazing colleges that we have to offer. Now, I know in a lot of other smaller states, there is only maybe a few options, and there's the big state school names kind of thing. But here in California, I can't even tell you how many that we have. It's ridiculous. We have so many options, so many different things to choose from, whether you want public or private. And within California itself, we actually have our own specific school systems that offer just amazing educational opportunities. So within California, we actually have 10 UCs, which are Universities of California, and then we have 23 CSUs, which are California State Universities, both public options. Some really big names that you'll know. So for UCs, there's UCLA, there's UC Berkeley, UC San Francisco, UC Merced is an up and coming one in Merced County, not too far from Tracy as well. But there's, like I said, 10 of them. Now for state schools, these are amazing as well too. Pretty much any program you can think of, you'll be able to find it here in California. I personally went to San Diego State and San Jose State, so I'm very familiar with the CSU systems, and I had an incredible experience, as do thousands and thousands of other students. So if that's something you're looking for, then that's a great option here in California. And I'm going to show you the proximity here in Tracy to some of these local schools. So again, here's Tracy. You're looking at the UCs. Move over a little bit. Then here's Berkeley. UC Berkeley is up in here, and a lot of people know that name. Amazing programs, not easy to get into. Over here, I actually don't know exactly where it's located, but somewhere here in San Francisco is UC San Francisco. They have amazing medical programs. Even within San Francisco UCSF, they have their own offshoot of medicals and specialty programs. So it's a really great experience if you want to go into medical for learning for those students. But a lot of other great programs as well too, and you get to be in the heart of San Francisco, so that's always fun. Now, if you're looking for, those are just a couple options. If you're looking for state schools, there's Stanislaus, CSU Stanislaus, which is in Turlock, which is right over here. That one's known as, I believe its teaching program has a really good program if you want to become a teacher. And within the area, obviously, and then San Jose State University is right here. It's actually right in the middle of downtown San Jose, which is really neat. So if you go take a trip, you'll just, bam, right there. There's a bunch of acres just right in the middle of downtown. It's really hard to miss. Beautiful. And I believe that's actually one of the oldest state universities out of the 23 in California. So like I said, I did go there. It's a beautiful school. A great opportunity if you can visit. Now, we do have the Ivies as well too, one of the biggest and well-known Ivy League schools. Stanford is right in our area as well too. So that's in Palo Alto. Oh, and you can see it actually pops up on the map. That's how popular and famously searched it is. So here we have Stanford right here. Another, oh my goodness, if you have a chance, please go visit the Stanford campus. Take a car, drive around, get out and walk for a little bit too. I mean, it is gorgeous. I loved visiting there just to see the architecture, the buildings. It's 100% recommend. And then while you're there, downtown Palo Alto is gorgeous as well too. It's a cute little downtown. Go get a bite to eat, something like that. So we have so many options, and this is just a very, very small number. Within this, this whole area, there's a ton of other colleges too. If you want to go to maybe a community college for the first couple years, most cities have their own community colleges, as well as there's a lot of other private schools too, if that's something that you're interested in. But within California itself, you are in fantastic hands if you want to go to a college. There's so many options. So anything that you want to pursue, you can find that. All right, now I'm switching back to the main section of Tracy because I want to show you the different things to do within Tracy and in the surrounding areas. Because, well, in the Central Valley, we get a reputation that it's always boring to live here. And yes, I mean, I can't lie. There is not as much to do as if you're living in the middle of a giant city like San Francisco that's nearby. But within Tracy, there's actually a decent amount of things to do around. It's very quaint, has a really cute historic downtown. So I'm going to show you some of these areas. So let's look into the map itself. So here we are in Tracy, and I'm going to zoom in directly to the actual main downtown. This is the downtown right here where the name Tracy pops up. It's a nice historic downtown. Tracy was discovered sometime in the 1800s by a man named Lathrop Tracy, and it actually started as a really big railroad hub. So to this day, there's a really big train station that still goes through. A lot of distribution and that type of stuff is going through Tracy every single day, but that's how it's got its start. And within itself, they actually did a huge revitalization in 2007. So the downtown went under this big change. They renewed some of the sidewalks, repaved the roads, put new lampposts, and just made it a much more friendly and attractive place for people to come visit. And within itself, there's actually also a Grand Theater Center for the Arts. It's somewhere right over here. I don't know the exact location, but really beautiful. It's a theater that is still being used for live performances to this day. That was built in the 1920s. It also underwent a renovation and complete revitalization in 2007 at the same time that its downtown did. So this has been a great draw for the community, and it's really great to see that something so historical is still standing to this day and being used for the same purpose it was 100 years ago. So that's within Tracy itself. And actually, I did forget to mention too, in the downtown, they also have Saturday farmers markets. I want to say year round, it might be paused during the winter time, but they have a lot of farmers markets. It's really great to get a lot of local vendors, small businesses, and just see what the community has to offer. So those are always fun to go to. And a lot of Central Valley communities do farmers markets like that. I'm going to zoom out a little bit to show you something fun that's nearby. So right here, I want to show you, this is Livermore here. Very close to Tracy. It's, maybe 20 to 30 minutes, depending on which section you're at, how much traffic there is. But what I wanted to point out is there's actually outlets that are called the San Francisco Premium Outlets. It's an outdoor outlet mall. There is still coverage if it's raining. I've been there when it's raining, and it's completely fine. You'll get a little wet, but it's okay. And the weather's nice most of the time here in California. So, but it is one of the biggest outlet malls I've ever been to. There's a lot of big brands, big names, and you can get a lot of really great deals here too. So a lot of people come from all over, especially in the Central Valley, to drive to this specific outlet mall because it offers a lot more options, and it's just a really nice one to go to. Now, keep in mind, if you go on a weekend or sometime near holidays or shopping, there's going to be a big line coming in from that freeway exit, so be prepared to wait to park or get there a little bit earlier and beat the rush. But I highly recommend, if you are in Tracy visiting for the weekend, that you can stop by these outlets. Now, I don't know why they're called the San Francisco Premium Outlets. A lot of people assume that it's in San Francisco, but it's not. So I don't know if it's an offshoot of a different outlet mall there. I don't know. I'm just hypothesizing. But it's called the San Francisco Premium Outlets, but it's in Livermore. So it's a lot more accessible for a lot of us Central Valley residents. So another place that is a lot of fun and a lot of people don't know about is actually the Carnegie SBRA, which is, zoom in just a little bit, right over here. This is the SBRA, which is the State Vehicular Recreation Area. And this offers over 1,300 acres with over 80 miles of trails for off-roading vehicles. So quads, dirt bikes, four wheels, that kind of stuff. It's a lot of fun if you're into that. And but it's not just for that too. There's a lot of camping spots. There's picnicking. You can go see deer, elk, sometimes bobcats in the area. So there's some wildlife that you can go watch as well too. So it's huge, and a lot of people are not aware that it's even in Tracy. You can see that it's actually located, this is the border of, the triangle, so to speak, that Tracy's within, but it technically still does have a Tracy address. But the main sections of Tracy are within that triangle. So that's something fun to do too if you're into outdoor activities like that. Okay, and then within Tracy itself, I did mean to hit on this before we going over to Livermore, but it's right over here somewhere within that vicinity is the Ghirardelli Ice Cream and Chocolate Factory outlet. If you are a chocolate lover, go visit this. I mean, they have ice cream sundaes, shakes, and of course, a lot of chocolate that you can choose from. Lots of gift baskets and treats for people as well too. So Ghirardelli chocolate actually started in San Francisco. And if you visit San Francisco, there is the Ghirardelli Square that you can go visit, which is a lot of different shopping and activities, and the original location of Ghirardelli. It's super close to Pier 39, just a few minutes from there. So if you go visit there, I highly recommend going checking that out. But if obviously you don't want to drive all the way to San Francisco, right within Tracy is an offshoot of that one, and it is the Ghirardelli here in Tracy. So it makes for really great gifts too for people that maybe you don't know what to buy for. That's always my go-to, is some type of chocolates. So it's really neat that we have one directly here, and the original one is only 60 miles from here. So definitely go check that out. So something else that I want to show you here in Tracy is the big employment opportunities that are coming to Tracy and have already started, mostly because of its ideal location, centrally located close to the bay, close to the Central Valley. So they're opening up these huge distribution centers. And I'm going to show you some of them here just to give you a few of these big name brands. If I go to this corner over here, you can see here we have Amazon, we have a Home Depot distribution center, we have Smart and Final distribution, USPS, US Foods, another section of the other Amazon distribution center. So I mean, all these big name companies are here in Tracy, and you'll notice too that a lot of them, or not all, I should just say just about all of them, are always right next to a freeway, something conveniently located. You're not going to find them in the middle of town. They're going to be on the outskirts of town. And Tracy is perfect for this because the outskirts provides plenty of space. It's not, there's not a lot of homes in the way. There's not a lot of other buildings. It's a lot of open space. So they've had this room for growth. Now, on the other end, they have some over here as well too. I'll find them. Oh, here they are. So we have, FedEx, another Home Depot distribution center. Even though you saw one on the other side of town, they have another one right there. So this one's more convenient for going to the Bay. The other one's more convenient for going to the Central Valley and the rest of California. We have some Medline here, some bigger ones, another Amazon location. Costco is a really big one too, their distribution center. So we've got a lot of opportunities. It's caused thousands of jobs to open up for people. Now, something else that Tracy is open, but they're still currently working on, is the International Park of Commerce. Now, this is over 1,800 acres. It's a master planned industrial development in Tracy, and it's designed to be a major hub for transportation and logistics. So this will be, once completely finished, one of California's absolute largest industrial parks. And that is huge for Tracy. Do you know how many jobs that brings in alone? It's absolutely massive. I actually want to show you from a street view. This is massive. And this is just from this one side's street view. So like I said, still working on it. It's going to be super modern, lots of upgrades, the solar panels and everything like that, a lot more energy efficient, but thousands of jobs, hundreds created from this alone. And so that's, just absolutely huge. But you can see within Tracy itself, even not just in its specific area, as I've mentioned before, we have San Jose, didn't stop working there for a second. We've got San Jose over here, Silicon Valley, obviously one of the most expensive places to live in California. That's why a lot of people choose to go to Tracy instead. But if you're looking for big companies, tech jobs, a lot of opportunity, that's where you want to look. And then a lot of these, little offshoots of San Jose here, you've got a lot of companies coming in too. Not to mention San Francisco, 60 miles right over here. A lot of opportunity there, of course. Just so many job opportunities if you live in Tracy, whether you want to stay locally or if you're willing to commute a little bit. There's a lot of expansion going on, and it's only expected to continue to grow within Tracy, so look out for that. So with its accessibility to the Bay and all these opportunities that are coming to Tracy, it has driven up home prices. We're looking at the median home price to be about $653,000, with the average in the mid sevens. Now these vary just depending on the past few months, recent sales, what sold, what hasn't. So I like to go off of median just because it gives you that nice middle number, right around mid 600,000s. Now, a lot of people think this isn't really realistic for a lot of first-time home buyers. Keep in mind, this is just a median though. So if you take a look here, we actually do have, there are going to be some older communities, some older homes that, over here that do range. And you're looking in the 400,000s for these. Keep in mind, if you are looking in the 400s in Tracy, that it likely probably needs some work. It's going to be older. It's not going to have all those, bells and whistles, new upgrades that these newer homes do. Now, on the opposite end of that, we've got these multi-million dollar properties, usually in the 1 millions or so on the outskirts. So it's hard to see from here, but some of these outskirts, especially on the other side of the freeways, right outside that triangle area, you get these really nice properties, and they're listed a little bit higher, mostly because they have acres, a lot of land. If you get more into town, they're not going to have big backyards or anything, but some of these over here are, an acre, over an acre, have a lot of space to grow, a lot of space if you want to build on, things like that. So that's why those are selling for so much higher. Now, something that is really neat, and you should go check out my video on Tracy Hills, but Tracy Hills, we'll zoom in just a little bit, is a brand new master planned community that they are still working on. So you'll see even in the map, this is what they show Tracy Hills, but it actually has extended over here a little bit as well too. So within Tracy Hills, there's some homes for sale. They started selling them around 2021, but there is still a lot of active construction going on there. These homes are absolutely beautiful. Each one, it's Lennar is the builder, and they just have really outdone themselves with these. Keep in mind though, like I said, these new builds, there's really not a lot of backyard space, but even though you're paying, $1 million for a property, but they do have ranges here. They have homes, I think the lowest is in the 700,000s and then goes up to almost 1.3 million. Now keep in mind, the pricing makes a big difference. The reason for is usually the square footage and the bedroom count. But they do have some properties that go up to close to 4,200 square feet with a full in-law quarter section, and they're just really nice. These homes are well built. They have a lot of natural lighting, open space, floor to ceiling windows and doors. And I really recommend you should go check out, if you are interested in living Tracy and that is within your budget, to look at this new build community, because there's a lot of amenities that are included there. You'll see they even have their own elementary school within the area. There are welcome centers that you can rent out for parties or events, things like that. They have somewhere over here, it's not even on the maps yet. This house is so new. I want to say their new fire station is somewhere right over here. And obviously it's not specifically just for its area, but it is nice to have those amenities within your community. They also have their own swimming pools, lots of different parks and green spaces. I want to say it's over here. It says all green space, just parks for kids, pets, things like that. So that's definitely check out that video. I'll give you a sneak peek inside the actual homes that you can go tour there. Really beautiful. But in terms of the actual housing market, in comparison to the rest of California, we actually are fairly reasonably priced. If you jump over to the Bay just, an hour over, then you're going to have triple or quadruple the price for homes that you would have in Tracy. So definitely check out that new build community. But if you're not interested in new build homes, then there's a lot of older communities, homes built in the 70s, especially seems to be there was a lot of building going on at that time. So look at those. And if you are interested, I'd be happy to give you a tour, show you around. And, overall, I just really hope that this video gave you a better idea as to whether Tracy might be a good fit for you or not. Really hope you found this video helpful. I would love to know your thoughts if you are a Tracy native, or if you are looking to move to Tracy, what your thoughts are. If you are from the area, give us some suggestions of things to do, maybe some of your local hidden gems that you enjoy doing, or maybe other things close nearby. So it doesn't matter if you're looking to move now or in 30 days from now, I am more than happy to help you. Just send me a text, shoot me an email, give me a call, or you can book a Zoom using my Calendly link below. And I'd be happy to meet with you to go over your options and discuss a little bit further as to the buying or selling process if you do need to sell your home. and go over just the general details. Until next time, I hope to be able to show you around Tracy.